The internet is not just banks. It's not that you do a payment and you do tie everything to monitoring. Majority of the internet is actually, nil or stalking or kill or reading news or subscribing to different things or finding different things out. So I do feel that we will have consumer-centric approach very, very soon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship. My name is Lum, your Web3 host, and this is episode 38. For those of you who are new to the show, Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship is a show highlighting the journeys of builders and innovators in the Web3 and entrepreneurship. Some topics, aspects in Web3 may get technical, but we do our best to keep it accessible for most people. And here I am. I'm joined today by Hash. He's the founder and creator of Hush Protocol. Hash, can you give a quick introduction by yourself?
First of all, I'm really excited to be here. Excited to start the podcast. So, quick intro about myself. I'm Harsh of Push, but before that, what was I? So, I was basically this tech entrepreneur. Started my tech entrepreneurship journey from Web2. I have 12 years of experience in tech, marketing, design. Basically, like everything tech. So I just want to dabble in all those technologies, like whenever I
Nice.
want to. That's me. Before Push, I also was a big fan of Doom. I used to play him a lot. Now I don't get that much time. Um, so yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Yeah, actually, would like to maybe dig a bit deeper into your background. Before the Web3 days as well. You said you built another company or you ran another company, right? In the past, like what was that
I
company
had
about?
built another company in the past.
Hmm.
So I started my entrepreneur journey like back in 2012 or 2011, 2010, 2011. And at that point, if you guys remember, like iPhone just came up with App Store and, this new way of
That's
talking,
true.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very early days. Yeah.
So yeah. So basically, I got my hands on an iPhone, so I was just playing it around on it, and then I was like, okay, let me go and visit some sites, and I went to Safari, and then I realized that Safari can only handle one tab at that point. Like that was crazy times. So
Really.
that was yes, just one tab. There were some other restrictions as well. So at that point of time, like we created this power browser called 360 web browser. We kind of realized that that is where industry is heading towards. So we created this power browser that had multiple tabs, even downloads, and even Firefox sync and a lot of very cool things. And that was my entryway to the entrepreneurship journey because that app went on to become like top 10 in the US App Store.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Wow.
yeah,
So this
yeah,
is a
yeah.
browser app, is that right? It's a browser.
This was a browser.
Hmm.
So this was a browser, but at that point, Firefox and Chrome was not there also, right? So
I
we were
see.
just at
Yeah.
the right place at the right time. So
Okay.
that was the start of my entrepreneur journey. Then we created a lot of apps and games. Some did very well, some did not so great. Still 2014, that was how I started my entrepreneurship. 2014 onwards, what I said to myself was like, you only get to live once, right? YOLO. And I was at this place wherein I thought that let me go and see different things that I wanted to try and let me see if something can click or not. So 2014 onwards was this explorative mode for me wherein I went into a lot of things. Like I went into machine learning, I went into
Hmm.
AI, I also created few SaaS product, I also dabbled in some marketing and some design. And that was till 2016, 2017.
I
Around
see.
2016, Bitcoin or this new thing called Bitcoin became this very big craze in India because it was at $1,000 at that point. And
Yeah.
you now I know the cycle. Like everyone will talk about Bitcoin when it's like at the very peak. So at that point, it was this very big craze, and I was like, oh, let me just get some Bitcoin. I think this might be interesting. And the moment I got it, like 2 weeks down the line, 1 week or 2 weeks down the line, it crashed to $200. So
Oh,
that was my
ouch.
entry to
Ouch.
Bitcoin and Web3. What happened over here? So then I started reading about Bitcoin. I started understanding about other coins. I got to realize that there are other coins as well, not just Bitcoin. And I realized it from a very trading perspective. I kind of realized that these other coins, when they come on different exchanges, price basically goes up based on the weightage of the exchange. So at this point, I know now that I created a arbitrage bot, but on that point, I didn't know. But what I did was I created this bot that used to trade different coins by weightage of different exchange. And that was performing decently well till 2018. I think at that point, everyone else also figured out that this arbitrage bot yeah, is a very good strategy. So 2018 around, it started not so doing so great, but around 2018 also it started sending me a lot of reports of ERC20. So that basically piqued my interest around what is ERC20, and then I realized that there's this thing called Ethereum, and the beauty of Ethereum is that you can program things out. Like Bitcoin is for smart ledger, but you can program things out. And I somehow I could see that you can build a global DeFi bank in the future, or you can build so many global things in the future. Innovation can happen in parallel. Like people can address the same problem and can do their own different take on that problem in parallel, which to me was this very powerful concept that all you need is now an internet connection and an idea, and you can basically build a company that can rule the world. So that was very fascinating for me. So that was my entry to Web3. Before then, I would call myself a trader. So at that point, and because I knew that our entrepreneurship journey is not easy, around 2018, I went into Ethereum and I joined this fintech company in New York, basically trying to do aggregate identities for Ethereum and Meta transaction. I was there for 1.5 years with them just to learn the tips and tricks of the DeFi and Ethereum and how the Web3 operates. And then 2019, later part of the journey, I started Push, or EPNS as it was known back.
Yeah, I see. Wow, that's quite a lot to unpack there. But one thing I'm curious first is that what happened to the browser that you built in the past?
We took the browser offline in 2016 because Chrome and Firefox came. So
Oh,
then the browser was not that useful. But
oh, unfortunate.
from 2010 to 2015, the browser was it performed really well. So it's a life cycle, right? So, and also, I mean, Apple got smarter. Safari had tabs.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's true, right? Yeah, I don't think well, but yeah, I guess you must have been super early then, when the day when
yeah,
Safari
yeah,
didn't have tab.
yeah.
I think now
Yeah.
Safari, I mean, of course they have tab, but I don't think you can add any extension, right, to Safari.
No, you cannot add that.
Exactly.
In fact, I mean, that browser, you could also add extension. Like we had created these JavaScript extension. So you could
Hmm.
do so many things. Like you can create like this page, this readable page, or you can do, which will basically give you all the links out. So yeah, kind of like a very poor man version of Chrome. But yeah,
I see, I see. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So, and then you said you went into, I think Bitcoin got your interest, right? Because back then there was
yes,
huge interest. Yeah. So I think you wrote I guess, the bubble back then, whatever, but then
yes.
figure out a way to arbitrage, and then you got into Ethereum, ERC20, and then did you join some hackathon? Right? I believe, did you build Push at a
Oh yeah,
hackathon, or was
so
it like,
Push,
yeah,
like the journey of Push, then 2019 later part, I started looking into some problems. Like what I started doing was I started comparing a lot of dApps and with their Web2
hmm,
equivalent parts. And very quickly, I kind of realized because I came from the mobile era, because I saw notifications built right when I
yeah,
was there, and because I knew the architecture of notification and social messaging and all. Quickly, I realized that right now we are in this very early phase of Web3, wherein Web3 is trying to provide innovations, but there is no way for engagement to be done. That was the point of time when I realized, okay, notifications for Web3, like from protocol to wallet address, is going to be the future. Let's build that out. And I basically then wrote to Ethereum Foundation. They were like, we love the idea, but you have to build it out before we can help you. So, and then they recommended this thing called ETH Global. And they were like that ETH Global is coming up, DeFi 2020. You go ahead and try to build this out. To ETH Global, then we built our project out, and what we did was we also shared the vision of the project out and what we were building out on Twitter, and that got attention of a lot of Web3 mentors and Web3 OGs. Ethereum Foundation, right after we built the product out at this hackathon, right after that they reached back to us, and they helped us in almost anything that we needed or that we wanted to do. So it was quite a like it's quite a journey that I'm really fond of. But yeah, yes, we started from a hackathon, Eat Global to be exact.
Fascinating. Yeah, I think you're probably one of the first original participant of, I feel like, ETH Global Hackathon. I don't remember when they began, but I think
Oh,
it's
they
2020,
began
right?
long time back. No,
Was it a long time back?
2016, I think Eat Global
Okay,
began.
really? Okay, I feel like it was like, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean,
Hmm.
1 inch is also from there, right? So,
Yeah, it's true. 1 inch. I think one
yeah.
inch came after your project. Was that right? I think,
No,
was it
no,
1 year
before,
before?
before.
Before. Okay, I see. And you said the name was like EPNS. What is the
PNS,
previous name?
so that was Ethereum push notification service.
Hmm.
But then, of course, we were going multi-chain, so we kind of realized that push is a better name. Started removing what we would basically want to be known at. So, of course, we were going multi-chain, so Ethereum couldn't be a part of it. Then we are not a service, we are a protocol, so service needed to go. Then, of course, after notification, we built chat, like gated chat, and we also built a beta version of audio and video real-time communication between wallets. So we knew that we cannot just put notification. So the only thing that remained was push, and that's what we went with.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. So, yeah, before we deep dive into your company, just one fun question. Can you share with us what do you do for fun in your free time? I think you mentioned you play games, right?
Uh, Now I don't get that much free time, but yeah, I still try to go back and play some games. Right now, recently I started playing Prince of Persia, which is a Metronoid game
Is that
on
like a
PS5.
PC game or PS5?
PS5.
Okay, PS5. Yeah.
So yeah. Uh, but yeah, in my free time, maybe gaming, and I also started playing paddle.
What
So
is
that is
Paru?
also. So paddle is just like tennis, but different. It's really getting very popular in Dubai. Uh, but yeah, whatever days I can get during my weekend, I try to either juggle between paddle or PS5 games, depending on how free I am. Um,
I see. Cool, cool. Paddle. Don't think I've seen that sport yet, but I do know what tennis is.
Yeah,
Hmm.
different game than tennis. Like tennis, you need to have very strong hands and need
Hmm.
to be kind of like a pro in what you're doing or how you're serving. It's easier, like it's very easy to learn and play.
I
So
see.
because of like this lot of time to basically learn or whatever. So it just seemed like this easier thing, but it's also fun. So yeah.
I see. So like the entry to play is like much simpler, right? You don't need to like train
Yes,
for hours a
yes.
month before you can
Yes,
just
yes,
play for
yes.
fun, right? Yeah.
Entry to play is very easy. Like it
Yeah,
took
that's
me
true.
5 minutes to learn. So yeah,
Oh, really? Oh, that's easy then.
yeah,
Yeah, five
yeah,
minutes
yeah,
anybody can do that. Yeah, yeah. I see. Yeah, for me, I also like to try a lot of sports, but usually I like to try at least each sport at least once, just to see whether I would like it. I think if I get quite good, or if I'm doing quite well, or at least I get to a certain level after the first or second try, then I'll probably repeat after it, right? But usually, if after the first time, if it's like a really terrible result, like for example, I think I went skiing, I landed on my butt like probably 100 times. So I realized I wasn't fit for like skiing. So yeah, but anyway, I'm more fit for the beach, like
yeah,
any water
yeah. I
related
mean,
sports.
skiing is really tough, dude. Like, only tried it once, and the trainer was telling me to spread my knees, and I was like, "What is this new thing that you are telling my body to do? How do I
Yeah.
spread my knees?" You either spread your legs or you make it like an ankle. Like it was so weird for me. I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
skiing is tough.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's even tougher when you don't have like a in instructor or coach to teach. Actually, my first time I just learned on my own. I didn't book. I think you sort of book a coach here in like the
Okay.
ski resort I went to. We didn't book a coach, so I just ended up like learning on my own. So ended up, but anyway, it was fun experience.
Yeah, it was fun. Like
Mm.
I got a trainer with me because I put my ski on and I went to the ice
Mm.
and I realized that I was moonwalking for 5 minutes. Like I wanted to get to a place I couldn't, and then I was like, yeah, I cannot do this unless someone is telling me how to do it. So yeah,
Yeah, it's just true. I think even walking in
yeah,
like the what I don't know what they call like snow boots is super hard, right? All
oh
the
yeah,
gear, yeah,
yeah.
totally. Anyway, cool. Yeah, so without further ado, maybe let's go ahead and deep dive into your company. I would like to love to see a quick demo about your app or your company. But yeah, before that, feel free to share any other background. I think you share quite a lot of good background information already. But yeah,
So I can probably share like what push is. So in
sure.
essence, like if you have to think about it, like what we created or what push is, it is basically this Web3 native way to communicate. If you're a dApp, if you're a smart contract, if you're a protocol, the problem is that, or the thing is that in Web3, your protocol will only be connected to a Web3 wallet address, right? And that is what a
Yeah,
protocol knows, a Web3 wallet address. It doesn't know your email, it doesn't know anything else. So when you were doing payment transaction, that was fine. But now with DeFi, now with governance, now with metagaming and metaverse coming in, you cannot not have engagement for your protocol, and that is what push does. It just enables notification, chat, messaging, whatever that a protocol can send, which is tied to your wallet address. So just a very cool example is app.push.org. Like we have sent over, I think we are reaching around 100 million notification to, and we
wow,
have sent that to around 240,000 subscribers.
that's a
So
lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
wow.
yes. So you can go to app.push.org, and what you can do is just connect your wallet. I've already connected. And then let me just expand this. And then just go to channels. So channels are all the protocols that want to send notification out to you and that are available over here. And
So
after
is
that, all
channel
you,
like one-way communication?
yes,
Is it fair to say? Okay.
yes, yes. So for example, if you want, you can opt into CoinDesk, and it's a gasless opt-in. So all you have to do is
Hmm.
sign it, and you have opted in. And once you have opted in, CoinDesk can send you all the notifications. So right now you will not see a lot of notifications, but yeah, once you have opted in, you can see the notification.
I see. But you have to
I
go
also
to this particular page, right, to see the notification, right?
Not
App.push.org.
really. So now
Right.
Unstoppable has integrated us, so you can see notification and chat on Unstoppable mobile wallet as well as Unstoppable app. We
Hmm.
also have MetaMask Snap. Then we also have couple of wallets like Verso wallet and few others that show these notifications. We also have Shapeshift wallet, like Shapeshift Pro wallet, that is getting these notifications to you. And of course, we have our app and we have our own mobile apps also. So it's kind of like this interoperable notification because, it's a permissionless protocol, which means that any wallet can show these notifications to you and you can opt into the channel either from the front end. For example, Decentraland allows opt-in from the front end, and then you can have any mobile wallet show this out to you who have integrated push, like a couple of the ones that I shared. So yeah, and then sending notification is extremely easy. I have already created a channel, and what I'll do is I'll just copy my address. I'm just opening MetaMask on the other side because of course I don't want to.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I totally understand. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
So,
actually, I think I have connected a different wallet. But yeah,
oh,
let me try
oops.
from here. Yeah. So I'll just say GMGM. I can also add
Okay.
title or a media URL. Like let's find a cat theme, uh, just to show you how media looks as well. So
Okay.
this looks cool.
Yeah.
So let me just go back to a media URL. And then, yeah, as a protocol, I'm sending a notification. So it will just tell me to decrypt my push profile. I'm just sending that. And right after that, it's going to sign, or it's going to ask me to sign the entire payload, which is then sent to push nodes. And from push node, it is then delivered. So if I go to my inbox right now, yeah, I can see GMJ. And that is the same thing if I will, let's say, if my extension is up to date. And then that's the same
Oh, I
thing
see.
I'll see in Unstoppable mobile app and so on if I've subscribed to my test channel. So that's
Hmm.
basically how notification work. And then you have wallet to wallet messaging that we have over here as well. So basically wallet to wallet messaging is this Web3 way to message. But something which is very cool is that, Unstoppable has already implemented their messaging or their gated group chats with us. So with wallet to wallet messaging, our vision is that, people will use this to create gated communities, or protocol will use this to create loyalty. So the way it happens is, and this is where we are like so proud, because we are even ahead of Web2 companies. So what we do is, like, we have this concept of gated groups, and gated groups basically means that you can allow or not allow a person to join a group or a person to send a message based on conditions. And those conditions can be anything. Like, for example, in this group, the condition is that you need to hold NFT, like a push alpha access NFT. But it can
Okay.
be anything. It can be you holding X amount of token for the group, or it can be basically you having X amount of POAPs. That basically means that you have participated in a hackathon. So you can, and it can also be guild. So not even push protocol, it can also have a type of guild. You can assign it with token NFT or even a custom endpoint in case you have some very weird logic or very complicated logic.
Hmm.
And once you do that, and once you add criterias, and you can add multiple criterias, once you do that, you can basically create your own groups with the condition to join and condition to chat. Idea being that this becomes like a decentralized autonomous group. And we feel that that's very powerful because now you can have loyalty points for community. And yeah, just to touch upon like why I said like we are way ahead in the tech like notification and chat. It's because that even right now, if you are probably going to WhatsApp to create a group, you can only create a group of 1,000 members. And on Signal, you can only create a group of 1,000 members. And the problem is like WhatsApp, you're not your group is not private. Like WhatsApp can add their users into the group without your permission. For Telegram has also said that they store messages in text format. And of course, Signal is like really, really powerful and really, really cool. But Signal, the problem is that you can only have 1,000 members.
Hmm.
Oh, why we are proud of this is like right now, even right now, if you go and create the group, we have hyper-scaled gated group functionality. So you can create a end-to-end completely encrypted group of 5,000 users without any hiccups, and 25,000 users if you're creating a public group. And very soon those numbers will go to 100,000. So yeah, so that's that's
Interesting.
that's basically chat for you and
Hmm. For
notifications and inbox for
yeah,
you.
for the condition that you said earlier for the gated group, right? Does this condition you have to create at the beginning, right? And then, but can the admin of the group modify this condition in the future, or is
Yes,
it like
yes,
fixed?
yes.
Hmm.
So admin of the group can modify the condition, but admin can also be derived from a condition. Like that's what we are working towards. Uh, I mean, if a developer is watching it, like best is to go to push.org/docs, and they can basically learn about different criterias and the and or use cases and conditions that you want to have. But yeah,
Nice.
it can be changed as well. And you can also have admins be defined by, let's say, if they hold 1% of your token supply or 4% of your token supply, or if they are owner of the token that they have created or NFT. So it's very, very powerful and it's very composable.
I see. Makes sense. Wow, cool. Very nice. So I think those are the two main products, right? Am I correct? The push notification and then the group, right? Gated group. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
quite curious about the groups. Maybe can you share some example of some of the groups that are actually been using like push protocol?
Sure, sure. I
Yeah.
think Unstoppable is a very cool way of sharing that example. So right now they have more than 200 groups, if I'm right. Uh, and some of the cooler groups are like Web3 whales. So basically, if you have tokens that are basically worth more than, I don't know, like what sort of threshold they have put, but
Hmm.
yeah, you can have like if you have good amount of tokens, only then you can join this group. So now Web3 whales are only talking between themselves and everything is end-to-end encrypted and everyone knows that they are talking with another whale, but not the
Hmm.
identity of that whale. Then another group that they have is your old group or OG group, right? So if you have been in this space for 5 years or so, only then you are able to join the group and talk. And then of course you have like not Polygon group. So if or whoever owns Polygon, they can join the group. Then they have Rarible group where I think NFTs are getting traded or NFTs of a particular are the gateway to joining that group and to talking about it. So that results in you directly talking to people that, hey, I want this NFT and let's negotiate or whatever. So a lot of cool things can be done, but these are like some of the coolest things that are happening.
Interesting. Yeah. So it sounds like a lot of different interesting group can be formed on there. And you said in technology even like ahead of Web two in correct me if I'm wrong here. Two ways, right? One is that the group size limit is bigger, and second is that does that have to do with like you check the balance or wallet of the group, or is it
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else? Yeah.
So group, yeah, definitely. Group size is way bigger. And second is that this infusion of Web3 native functionality and all of this is
Mm,
cryptographical proofs. So that is where it becomes really, really cool that you have this infusion of Web3 native things with Web2 ability of chatting.
I see. And is a message between like the group member? Maybe is it like or between the member end to end encrypted?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the listener viewer probably have heard the term end to end encrypted a lot, but I don't think they actually know what that means. Can you explain that concept a bit for us? Yeah.
Cool. So let my screen again because I
Oh,
think I
sure.
forgot
Yeah.
to talk about points. But
Okay.
yeah, so what is end-to-end encrypted? Like end-to-end encrypted basically means that only you and the recipient with whom you're talking to, only those two people are able to know what you are talking to and are able to decrypt your conversation. And why is that important? Because it ties to privacy. Like, if that is not the
Yep.
case, then anyone can snoop on you. And if anyone can snoop on you, like, it doesn't stop over at if you're doing something right or wrong. It also goes into then ads and then intrusiveness and then understanding your profile and kind of manipulating that out. Something that we have seen in US elections being done like 4 years back.
Yeah.
So end-to-end encrypted should be the way to go. The way it works is like whenever you sign in, like chat and notification, they are composable to entire Web3. They're not tied to EVMs just yet. You can have EVM and non-EVM. And the way end-to-end encrypted works for the techies, what we do is like when you are onboarded to push, we basically generate a PGP key for you lo- on your local host. Then that PGP key, which stands for pretty good privacy key, then that PGP key is encrypted with your wallet. And then that encrypted key is stored on push nodes. And what it does is that you can basically then access this PGP key of yours from any interoperable app as long as you have access to that wallet, because that wallet is only able to decrypt it out. So now you have this PGP key. Once you have the PGP key, all your communication and all your requests, they are encrypted by that PGP key before they are sent to the recipient. And because of that, what happens is that everything that you're doing is end-to-end encrypted, and everything that you do is controlled by you. Like no one, not even the app or the server, can basically stop it. And of course, push nodes is what we are talking about, or just to quickly touch upon it. Like
Yeah.
all of these conversations that you're doing and everything that you're signing, like the reason why we take the signature, as you have seen in notification and in chat, like PGP signing is there, so you don't see a MetaMask pop up again and again, but PGP is signing. The reason for that is that because of this signing, no one is able to change your content. Like if you change your content, the signature will not match, and basically the data will not be shown to you. So that's the thing. Like the signature is there to ensure that all your content is immutable. And we have something like push nodes that's coming up. It should be out in Q3 or Q4, which will also decentralize the network. So that will basically mean that push network will be here, which basically means that you have a proof of stake network wherein you are able to run the node and you are able to help in the decentralization part. So after that point, content cannot even be censored by anyone. So that's the entire thing about the E2E part. Another thing I
Interesting.
just wanted to talk about was we have recently launched points. I cannot give away why we have done that, but if you guys are interested or come to the app, I mean, it's good to earn some points and then later find out what it will do. It will unlock some
Hmm.
cool things in the future. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So I guess we will earn points by what do they have to do? Just send messages to push? Is that it? Or
So right now you just have to connect your Discord and you have to follow push. But
I
in
see.
the future, a lot more things are coming. Like we will be having different activities for the user to determine how the users are aligned to push protocol. And then based on that, there will be some cool surprises for them.
I see. Cool. Yeah, I think that'll be quite exciting. Going back to the PGP key. Yeah. So I I think this is actually the first time that I've heard the full term of PGP. I heard PGP before, but I did not know it's actually called pretty good privacy. That's an interesting name. Yeah. So when you use your wallet, right? Your wallet actually create this PGP key. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then from there, okay. And then from there, it's used to encrypt and sending message. Cool, makes sense. Point. Yeah, and I do hope the Hoyt's program will work out because I think, to be honest, I just want to share an experience from another. There was a messaging app. I can't even remember the name anymore. I think they also Web3. I was just experimenting around. I think they also like give points and levels, but I feel like it was just too spammy. Like the whole network was just spammy. When there was like points, and I feel like the
Yeah,
incentive wasn't aligned, right? People were just like, hey man, I'm gonna type 100 message today and then earn the point. I'm like, but does a message have any meaning? You just like see some pictures, like some random ABC 123. There's no meaning message, like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I mean,
exactly. So
hmm,
that's why I mean, bang on. So we don't want to be a spam network. So we basically have this accept and request thing to ensure that you cannot just send a chat to me. It will land in my request folder, and only once you approve it will it land to my inbox. On the points part, like we don't want to have like send 100 messages. We are
yeah, yeah.
thinking around different ways, but
Okay,
it's
great.
not going to be, hey, send 10 messages out because
Okay,
we
great. Yeah,
cannot even read the messages. So,
right.
if you send one, two, three, four, like it doesn't really
Yeah.
make sense. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I don't remember whether they were end-to-end encrypted or not, but I think there was like three tasks people need to fulfill every day, like send 10 message, send one like spam, like a funny emoji something. And then the third one is I forgot, like join another group or something like that. Anyway, I mean, it was a few very spammy. I think after like 2 days of trying it out, I was like, okay, I don't think I want to continue using this. There's no point in this app.
Yeah.
People were
Yeah.
just spamming the points for because they know there's like some airdrop meta or whatever is coming with the app. I don't know if the app is still doing well or not because I quit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. For me,
Valid
from
points.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, for me from a user perspective, right? I mean, if the app actually provides some value, some value whether help me connect with people, receiving some important notification, then we'll opt in. But if it's just spam, I think I'll probably just
Yeah,
skip.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why we launched just two activities right now, and more
Mm.
activities will come. But trust me, it's not going to be send 100 messages or follow
Okay.
these people. So, yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. Yeah, actually, I would like to talk more about like the people behind your team. How many people are now working for Push?
I mean, the number keeps on oscillating between 30, 35, and 40. Way we do it is like we believe that anyone is capable of innovation, right? So, if someone is applying for push, I mean, we do have requirements like for core and senior people,
Yeah.
but at junior level, anyone can apply at push, and we basically try to onboard them uh, with all the love. But then we give them a lot of difficult problems to solve. Like we
Mm.
tell them that you will have difficult challenges that you need to solve, and some of them like really outshine and they solve it out. So those people they become a part of the core team, and then the other people, unfortunately, they are let go. So because of that, this oscillation keeps on occurring between 35 to 40.
Mm.
But yeah, still at this point, if you guys are, or if any of you guys who are listening, they're interested in joining in, shoot us out an email. Like if you think that you're really smart, we love smart people, and we have a place for you.
Interesting. Yeah. Would you say majority are like how many percent in engineering? How many handling the business side?
So we are engineering heavy. Want to reshuffle that a bit now. Uh, I think 70% are engineers and 30% are basically the marketing side. But we are reshuffling that to 60-40.
Okay. Cool. Exciting. And I think just like I'm assuming here, but I think which is similar to any other Web3 protocol, you probably have a lot more applicants than the number of position available, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I figure. Yeah, so it's always a difficult decision to have to like cut down so many or turn down so many.
So it is. I mean,
Mm.
it is a lot to cut down people. What we have done now is we have tightened the interview phases a lot, just because a lot of team member bandwidth was they it was just getting spent. Uh, Cutting down the noise. So now when someone applies, we have a set of ready for them and tasks ready for them. And we just tell them that, hey, just make sure that you go ahead and do these tasks and then we can talk. And that is working out as a very good filter because I think people are
Yeah,
also lazy when they
yeah,
apply
it's
to
true.
multiple companies. So then
Yeah,
it has a good filter. Because then
yeah.
you can filter out 3 out of 5 applications because they will never submit task. So then it's a manageable workload.
Interesting. Yeah, it's true. I think that's a good way for sure. And I actually read recently that now a lot of the applicants are now using like open AI chatbot,
Yeah,
ChatGPT or
yeah.
maybe some other chat app to like help them with the writing, right? So I mean, yeah, I think at least you're probably gonna see a lot of them. There may be some similar cover letters, things like that flying
Yeah, yeah,
around. You
yeah.
never know,
All
right?
the
Yeah,
time.
because of
So,
the
but
logic.
interesting thing is like, and this is why we have phases. Like in the last phase, it's either with me or the co-founder or co-team member. Uh, we don't ever ask about your experience, or we will never ask about what you have done. We just ask like just about your journey in life, and whatever journey you're talking about, we will pick that one point and we'll just try to go deeper and deeper. And that really works because OpenAI cannot predict what journey you have and then
Yeah,
what challenges you faced and how you solved it. So that I think is a very good way by which you can filter it out. At least that works for us.
Interesting. So you turn the interview in like a philosophical discussion, journey of life,
Yes,
in
yes,
some way. Okay,
yes.
that sounds like fun. Yeah. So now your project's been running for what, I think more than 4 years already by
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah.
What, and then I think it looks like you've been releasing a lot of new products lately, even with new products coming up. What are some of the main hurdles or challenges facing your protocol at the moment?
Uh, so the biggest one was push nodes. Like we had to take 4 years to build the entire node out because it needed to be in real time, right?
Yeah.
Notification and chat and all these things cannot be not real time. And every architecture that you see in blockchain right now, it's based on financial ledgers, which is not real time.
Hmm.
Because of that, that was something that took us a while to crack, but I think we have cracked it really well right now. So there's a major surprise that's coming for Push. I cannot share that out, but it
Hmm.
ties to all that journey and it ties to the evolution of Push. Like we are aiming to disrupt the entire Web3 with this thing that we are working on. But yeah, that was a major challenge, like how to crack this out. Very happy that we cracked it out, and we cracked it out with the ethos of Web3 and with the ethos of decentralization. Was the challenge. Apart from that, I think notification are such a way, like, are such a simple way to understand for protocol that we don't have a problem with traction on notification. Like all state instantly understand that yes, that's a problem. Like if my ENS domain is expiring, how will I reach out to my the wallet addresses, which is the only information my protocol knows. So with the notification, I mean it's like a big uh, it's the simplest way by which a protocol understands, yes, I need it, and then push is the leading notification application in the entire Web3. So that helps us. So yeah, currently the challenges are on the disruption of Web3 that we are planning and that we are building out, how to build that out in parallel with what we are doing. That's the challenge. But yeah, no major challenges right now for us.
I see. Wow, that's sound very exciting. And so I think you said that these nodes will basically help to deliver the message, right, across the push notification and message across the whole push ecosystem, right? Is that correct?
So the way these nodes are built, it's like a real time or near real time way of communication. So what we have built is this sharded network, which has like your validator node as well as storage node. And the way it works is like whenever you are sending a payload, right, to these
Yeah.
validator nodes, they basically attest your payload or your entire block. Like payloads are like transactions. So we have a block
Yeah.
that gets formed, that gets attested. And then we have the sharded network that essentially grows because what we have is this smart contract as well. So if you want to run a node, you register yourself on this smart contract. And this smart contract is smart enough to figure out how many shards or how many nodes are there. And based on that, the smart contract also assigns the number of shards and the data chunks. So because of that, you have the sharded way of storing all the information. So you can send something to validator, it gets attested, and then it gets sent to specific shards. That is how basically the network operates, and that is how the read and write transaction operates. You also have one extra node that we call as delivery nodes. So, for example, receive a notification, or once you receive a chat, or once you receive anything else, and to do some added things on it, right? Which you don't want to expose to the network. At that point, you run a delivery node so that once you receive a communication in the wallet, whatever you want to do, you can do in the local delivery node of yours and you can then dispatch it out.
Hmm. I see. And then all these nodes, I mean, the people running it, I mean, these, I guess we can think of these like servers or machine, right? Running a set of
Yeah.
commands,
Yeah.
and then they will get the rewards, right? Because you said like proof
Yes.
of stake
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
It's a pure proof of stake. So you do stake tokens and you do get rewards, and you are penalized if you change the data.
Okay, makes sense. Um, do these nodes or machine run on a certain blockchain network to communicate
No.
with each other? No, no.
No.
Okay.
So these
Yeah.
these you I mean it's a network on its own, just
Hmm.
because of this near real time thing requirement that we had. Like no blockchain gave you this near real time
Ah,
transaction.
that's
So
true.
that's basically why we went ahead and we built it on our own.
I see. So you build your own like technology on some maybe some Web2 fundamentals or something, but it's not on a I see, I see, and then make it work. Oh, interesting.
Hmm.
And then you said people can expect to see this in like Q3 or Q4 this year, something like that.
Yes, so it goes
Hmm.
into audit in Q3. Like right now, if people want, they can go and check out our YouTube channel. And we have done this POC, like this very
Hmm.
POC with the community on what are the things. Q3 is when we are trying to put it into audit. So most likely people will be able to run their own nodes in Q4.
I see. So since it's going through like audit right now, does that mean so there's some smart contract on there, right? What chain are these smart contract being deployed on?
It's a smart contract. We haven't decided the chain yet, like what
Hmm.
chain we want to deploy this smart contract on, but it will probably be a cheaper chain because of course that really works. Uh,
I see.
so yeah, and the node, because I mean the node is processing, in a way it's processing transaction, right? When
Yeah,
it's processing your communication. So they also needs to be validated, just because we need to make sure that the consensus algorithm and the way attestation and the way the game theory works, that's also really audited, and that's up to the point.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're probably thinking like layer two, since it's gonna be EVM then, I'm guessing. Yeah, because it's be
Uh,
cheaper gas.
I mean, I can talk about it a bit later, like
Oh, okay.
when
I see. I
when
see. Yeah.
when it comes.
Ah, I see.
Uh,
I see. Yeah.
yeah,
No, no
yeah,
worry. No worry.
yeah,
If it's confidential, yeah, I know. I'm just
yeah,
curious. You know me.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
inherently
But the
curious. But
network
yeah,
supports EVM as well as non-EVM, so that I can say. But whether
nice.
it's going to
Okay.
be a layer two or what chain, that that is confidential right now.
Ah, I see. I see. Okay. All good. All
Yeah.
good. Yeah. But you said non EVM, so are we seeing like Solana, Polkadot,
Non-EVM plus EVM.
non EVM? Yeah. Well, non EVM.
But I said non-EVM and EVM. So the chain will support communication from non-EVM and EVM. So we'll see like
I
how it
see.
goes.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Exciting. All right. Not gonna ask that any further. Yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
exciting though. But yeah.
Let's pivot to some other question.
Sure. Sure. Okay. No worry. So so I mean, you build a lot of product, leading a great team right now. Is your team fully remote? By the way, just curious. It's
It is. It is. So
always fully remote.
there are some core team members that get together and that work with us in Dubai, but
Hmm.
most of the team is remote.
Where majority of the team based? I say in Asia
I
or
mean,
say in
yeah, now it's very global. I think at least 30% of the team is from India. So maybe that is where the majority of team is based. But now we have team members from Europe, from US, a lot around the world. Maybe we don't have anyone from Australia. So yeah.
I see. Yeah. But I guess do you guys work like in a async fashion then pretty much?
Yes,
Like always
yes.
on together.
So a lot of coffee, a lot of goodbye to you only working 9 to 5 is the only way you can have a remote global team. Work in async fashion. We do
Hmm.
have this called like Rockstar meeting, and the leads of all the
Wait,
department
what's
take
the name of the meeting?
Rockstar meeting.
Oh, Rockstar
So
meeting. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, all the leads of all the department, we come in together and we share a 15-minute update just to make sure that each department knows what the other department does. Then all the leads after that, they are free to design their own Scrum. Uh, just they need to make it public. So in case someone wants to join in and wants to talk about like, hey, what's going on over here and how to solve this or how to fix this. That happens. So that basically helps. Like it's a independent ad hoc scrum done by leads, and then all the leads come together and we have this rockstar meeting. There's no only mandatory meeting like the rockstar meeting. Through that, we make sure that all the departments are in sync, and then each department handles their own structure and their own way of doing scrums and all.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think I mean, especially with like full remote team, probably necessary to make sure everyone is heading toward the same goals, right? Like some.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, I'm not sure if this is confidential or not, but can you share like what are some of the metrics that you guys tracking internally? If it's
Sure.
confidential, okay.
So we basically what we have done is we have created this mega architecture in GitHub, wherein on the tech side I'm sharing, like wherein
Sure.
all the tech side repos they go into this organization that we have, and then from all the organization that we have, we are able to track all the departments. So and probably try to see if yeah, let me not share the
Oh,
milestone
okay.
tracker.
Okay.
But
Sure.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
in essence, what happens
it's
is
fine.
that you have the repo and all the repos, like you basically have milestones and you then have issues that are attached to all the repos. That's done in a public way. And then we have a project tracker that's not public, it's private. But what that project tracker does is it basically creates or imports all the repos that you had. And we have a script that keeps on importing any of the issues that are created. Because of that, you have this GitHub functionality of tracking a project and what everyone is working on and when they close it and when it's merged. And everything is also connected to Slack. So I mean, we worked a lot on it. Like, I'm very proud. Unfortunately, I cannot show it, but
Yeah, all good.
I'm very proud of the team and the way they have worked on it. But it essentially means that, all the repos are public, all the issues are public, all the milestones set are public. And when those issues are fixed or when those issues are taken up, all of those things are tracked in pre-wise level in our organization tracker. So we are able to see milestone and we are able to see what all things are depending or pending in front end or back end or on the node side or on the mobile side, and we are able to track everything out. And it basically takes away a lot of managerial stuff, right? Because we tied everything to
Yeah.
GitHub. So you are not going to Jira to do something, or you're not going to have duplicate of effort because you have to do some managerial side. So because of that, it becomes very seamless, and we are able to understand everything very well. So that's how the tech part of it operates. On the marketing part, we have Notion and have this very huge sheet wherein all the metrics come and flow in and they are formed. That's basically how each of the departments they kind of operate. But everything we have tried to make sure that the metrics are aligned or the metrics flow into the other project lead as well. So in that way, we are basically connected.
I see. Cool. Yeah, sounds like your team has probably figured out a way. I saw that your GitHub is like public, so you say like majority of, I mean, everything is public, right? But
Yeah.
what I'm curious is what percentage of the code is actually contributed from the community, from other people, and then what other percentage is attributed to your team? Because I mean, I know your team is still the main core team, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's 10, at least 10% of the code or 20% of the code is
Okay.
contributed from the community.
Nice.
Uh, we also have Git apps for them, like the contribution. Like we
Oh, nice.
want to promote open source, so we give them
Hmm.
Git apps. So the moment you pick one issue and you close that issue out, you get a Git app. And then, yeah, 80% right now is probably done from the foundation or the core team side.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's one thing I really like about Web3 is like most of the, I would say like over 90% of the protocols that I know, usually the codes are very much, it's open source, right? and then you can actually see, and a lot of other communities are contributing. So not only the core team, but also, because I feel like that's a much better, more efficient, but also more transparent way, right? And also
Yeah,
because
yeah,
your team cannot like write everything, right? I mean, maybe you need like knowledge from certain expert who you don't have in your team at the moment, and someone contribute.
I mean, bang on. Like, one of the best things that happen with open source is that you get asked questions, right? Why not this and why this?
Mm.
Sometimes you might miss like the better way of doing things. And if you open up your repos and if you're putting issues and then solving it out, you basically are able to catch those mistakes and are able to better your product. So I would tell everyone, like, opening your repos is the only way that you build better projects in Web3.
That is true. Yeah, that's awesome. Now let's switch gear a bit. Talk about Web3 in general. Where do you think Web3, and also where do you think where do you see like your protocol is heading in the future, in the next few years?
So I think I have so many thoughts around where I think Web3 is heading. Uh,
Feel free to share.
yeah. So I think he is going to go beyond financial apps now. Push was probably one of the first consumer apps that was created, which was like no finances, but still very useful. Then I think now Ficaster is also there, and other people are also trying to come up with consumer apps. So I'm very bullish on that Web3 will have this incredible, robust ecosystem of financial as well as non-financial apps. That is where I think Web3 is headed. Is I think also important because we are seeing that this is the next internet, right? And the next internet is not just banks. It's not that you do a payment and you do this and just tie everything to monitoring. Majority of the internet is actually Gmail or us talking or skill or reading news or subscribing to different things or finding different things out. So I do feel that Web3 will have consumer-centric approach very, very soon. And I also feel that that will outshine the financial part of Web3. So that's my take on where Web3 is heading. On where push protocol is heading. So of course, we are very excited about nodes. We are also excited about a lot of cool things that Push is working on. Like you can see that on our roadmap right now. Also excited about the evolution of Push that's upcoming. Some things I cannot really share right now because I want to share
Okay.
it with the community
Yeah,
first.
sure.
Right now, Push is very excited about its network. Push is very excited about Push Protocol V3. Basically, enables chain agnostic behavior as well. And we are very excited to come on about coming on EVM as well as non-EVM.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that. Yeah. I mean, I do hope that Web3 maybe will move away from a lot of the financial apps, right? Yeah. I think we've seen Farcaster, maybe some social fi is actually popping up lately, getting a lot of traction. So I do hope they could keep there and attract more and more people into the Web3 space as well, drawing away from just a financial aspect of it. Yeah. Exciting. And then, of course, very, very excited. Looking forward to what you guys are building in the future as well.
Thank you.
And then I guess the next logical question for that would be like, how can we, right, onboard 1 billion people as builder, onboard 1 billion people into Web3?
Oh, dude. I have this rant for 1 million people. I'll try to shorten it up and I'll try to say this out. So I tell people, like, we need to realize that 1 million devs, they do not equal 1 billion users. And why? Because, devs, they are just like me and most of the people that will probably listen in. We care about the features of the tech. We care about the tech. So we will dive into these documentations, no matter how abstract they will become.
Yeah.
Because that's our job. Like, that's actually our job to see how things work and then to create it out. But we have to understand that users are different. Like, users, they are not in it for the tech. Like I haven't seen a single user of Web2 which is saying, "Oh, I really love how YouTube is built, and that's why I'm using it." Right? They only use YouTube because it's easy, because it's fast. Example, Lam, we don't know how this streaming platform works, like how Riverside works. Like we are just using because it's so easy. I come, I put my
Yeah,
email, and that's there, and then it's local recording. Now I don't know how that local recording is. So we have to understand that. The moment we understand that, the moment we can onboard a billion users, because users are in it for the future. And that's because, they don't have time. Like they have like 2 hours after working hours to play around. And we cannot expect them to know, okay, here's a seed word, memorize it. And then, once you have memorized the seed word, go to an exchange, get onboarded, make sure that you are doing on and off ramp, then off ramp it to your wallet, and make sure that seed word is distributed among your friends. And then once you have on ramped into a wallet of MetaMask, then hopefully, if the protocol doesn't require a token of its own, you are able to interact with it. But you are able to interact with the Ethereum app because you have
yeah,
given Ethereum. Okay, Solana, here's another wallet address and seed word, and now go do it again. Like that doesn't work. It's like a user, if I'm working on some grocery shop, if I have a grocery shop, or if I have a clothing line, or if I'm working in telecommunications, or if I'm working in marketing, I am not going to come home and I'm going to be okay. Let me try Web3 because so much innovations. That's the future, and let me
yeah.
put up aside 6 hours of my weekend to do it. Long story short, users can only be onboarded once we realize that, and then we eliminate all of those things out. And I've put it in basically 4 pillars. One is this: one action becomes 10 interaction in Web3 always, like how MetaMask one action was 10 interaction. We have to eliminate that. Fortunately, account abstraction is what is picking up right now to
Yeah.
eliminate that. Second, I feel, is engagement and recommunication. We cannot just tell user, okay, this is a very cool product, forget. Use it and just remember that you have to come back to it again and again. The product is not going to reply that your DeFi loan is expiring, or you need to go and do governance, or you need to move L2 to L1. Engagement and that communication part, I think that needs to be really, really inbuilt into every protocol. That is where push fits in. Third part is that I do think that we need to embrace AI in a really effective way. We need to make things very simple. For example, right now, most of the app that you have go and they tell you that you connect your wallet, right? And when you start to connect your wallet, MetaMask is like, be very careful where you are connecting your wallet. What is this paradoxical way of us telling users that we want users, and then Meta saying don't connect unless you know the brand? This basically
Yeah.
then makes Web3 companies to first focus on brand building and marketing so that users trust them, and then, they are able to connect. So we need to get rid of that, and AI can become very useful, because right now when we sign a transaction, we usually sign a very hex coded transaction. We are working on making it more human readable, but somehow most of the transactions that we sign, it's really a bunch of bytes, and that is where AI can come in. They can translate that this is what you're signing and this is what it is. AI can also tell you that based on your data, this is the cool things that you can do. So embracing AI or embracing other tools, user discovery tools, just how Spotify has done it or YouTube has done it, is the way to go. So at least these 3 pillars we need to first approach and solve, and then the next 1 billion user onboarding will happen.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. I think that's a very well thought out answer to the question. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do agree that we have too many hurdles in Web3 at the moment, making user have to jump through many hoops before they can actually use. And also, like you said, you have to get them. You cannot just get them to use it once and then forget. Like you have to make them come back, right? So there's got to be some sort of a value or something interesting, right? So I think the non-financial app, and I guess that's where non-financial app come in, right? And maybe games. I think games would be, of course, one way,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'm not a huge gamer anymore. I used to play more, but I do hope that we have some other interesting thing beside games. Yeah, make the world more exciting. Cool. So yeah, just two more questions before we close out. I guess one is, do you have any advice for people who want to build their own Web3 company?
So three advice, those are closely tied to what I've done. So one is a start from a hackathon. Even if you have a good idea, is when you start from a hackathon is that you have these Web3 stewards that can guide you on the best tools and technology that's available on that time. So you can build that cool idea faster and better. For example, when I started, I didn't know that hard hat was there. Could if I didn't know or if I didn't join Eat Global, I wouldn't have known that. And then I would have missed out on console.logs and smart contract, which is a big deal, or which was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that happens. The second thing that happens is that when you are judged by Web3 mentors and leaders of that blockchain. So we got judged by Mariano Conti, we got judged by Mintao, we got judged by Patrick Collins. Like these are very cool people doing very cool stuff in Web3. And what happens is that this becomes your primary way of intros to Web3. Like for example, Mariano Conti, who is known as the father of DeFi, he is also, or he became an angel investor and a really close friend later on in our journey. So this is what happens when you start with a hackathon. The second advice is like be shameless in asking for help. There's a lot of things like Web3 in general or Ethereum in particular likes to help people out. So when you are asking for help, when you are saying that I don't know how to do this right, you get a lot of people to help you out. Like we asked for help VC pitching when I started. And I know so many cool people, like so many Web3 leaders and mentors that have sat with me while I gave 2 hour long pitches again and again to them. And they were like, reduce it to 10 minutes, reduce it to 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
that also happens. Like they love to help and they would be very happy in your success. So make sure that you're shameless in asking for help. And the third advice is that always share things out with the community. Like it's very hard when you come from Web 2. Web 2 is built on silos. So Web 2 is protecting secrets because eventually the profit goes to the company. Web 3 is not protecting secrets because eventually the profit goes to the community. So you have to be very open and sharing what you are building. And what it does is it again gets you that attention from community, from Web3 mentors and OGs. And that's also what we did when we were building Push or EPNS during Geek Global. We got replies from Dan Finley, who's the co-founder of MetaMask. We got replies from Kevin Novaki, who was the co-founder of Gitcoin and so many other people as well. And what it does is it again basically allows you to interact and start that conversation with Web3 mentors and Web3 OGs. Not only that, like someone gifted us EPNS.L. I think ENS Ferry gifted that to us. Someone wrote about us in a Croatia-based magazine, which was Moch Crypto, I think it was called. And all of those people, they basically told you that you can do this, because you will not know when you are starting, like what to do and how to approach people and how to do things. So, yeah, follow these three advices. I think it has worked for me. So,
Awesome. Yeah, I do agree. Those are really solid advice right there. Personally, I also like joining hackathon because I just like the building of it, and yeah, it's super fun and we get super engaging and trying to build a quick product. I'm talking about offline hackathon here. Yeah, trying to build a product over the weekend seems like a very difficult task when you try to do it in 48 hours, under 48 hours actually. Yeah, and then also
yeah,
asking for help. Yeah, I think something about the Web3 ethos where people are very open. I've actually, asked a lot of people for help for some certain concept or whatever, right? And then they pretty much just open to help out. So I think, yeah, you do find a lot of that in Web3. I think people also understand that Web3 is like really difficult. So by helping each other, we kind of help and make Web3 more accessible and more people can actually use it. So that's great.
yeah.
And yeah, sharing what you build in public is great tips also. Just letting people know about what you're building. Yeah, because I mean, if your tech is awesome, but you also need to talk about it, right? Yeah, so like
Yeah.
tech, yeah, exactly. So super important. Awesome. And yeah, final question: where can people follow you or your company? Feel free to share any public handles or username you want people to follow.
Of course. So, guys, if you want to follow Push, just go to Twitter, type in Push Protocol, PUSH PROTOCOL, or just go to push.org, push.org, scroll all the way down. You have Twitter and Discord, depending on if you want this to be one-way communication or two-way. Just follow it out. Want to follow me? It's my name, HARSH on Twitter. You can find me over there. And yeah, that's the best way. I would say go to push.org and maybe start your journey from there, or go to app.push.org if you're a user, or push.org/docs if you're a developer. But yeah, you get the point.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure to share all the links in the show notes down here below so that people can find your protocol and also find your handle name to follow us as well too. Make it easy. Once again, Hash, it's been really fun and enjoyable talking to you today about Push Protocol, your experience, and then thank you for sharing some really valuable advice for people who want to build in the Web3 space also. It's been super fun conversation. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure, Lam. Thanks for having me.
And we're back to my studio. What do you guys think about this episode with Hash Rajat? I think Hash is a truly hardworking builder in both Web 2 and Web 3 spaces. I like how his company constantly coming out with new products. I look forward to the release of his Push Nodes product later this year. For the next episode, we'll be talking to Herbert Yang. He's the general manager of Asia at Dfinity Foundation, the original organization that gave birth to Internet Computer Protocol, or more commonly known as ICP. We'll be deep diving into the ICP ecosystem. So if you're curious about ICP, or if you're an ICP user, developer, the next episode is for you. If you enjoyed this episode, please give a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.